Alright, assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to the BONK update, which is Thursday, and ETF is kind of going, mainstream among so many people. And one thing I do see about Bitcoin is that I've talked about the bearish divergence, but also if I show you one thing on the daily with Bitcoin before I talk about BONK at the moment, is that you see Bitcoin is still in a place where it previously dumped twice. Okay, one time was right over here and it dumped to the downside. One time it was right over there and it dumped to the downside, and you're still at the very same place, right? I'm just saying, okay, this is a very, very big resistance once again, and people do get bullish at the resistance. Okay, so you may say this is a bull flag where you're moving sideways and you're actually meant to go to like $52,000, but then again, this is a little bit of resistance. By the way, it could be broken, it can be broken. Reason is Bitcoin has this falling wedge, and Bitcoin is actually meant to go back up here. But I kind of still expect that Bitcoin, may actually retrace before actually going up there. That's my take about it. But let's see. I'm the one who's been giving $69,000 for a long time now. My title says it. I'm actually giving $100,000 as technical target, but the journey goes up and down. But if you go with history, well, you can see that even right over here, Bitcoin just took over, make this sideways movement, and absolutely took over. And it actually never even bothered coming down. So we can actually see very similar situation again. Who knows, right? And I could be wrong based on what I said about Bitcoin with BONK as well. If you look at BONK, something that is positive about BONK at the moment is that BONK is still maintaining the EMAs once again. We still don't have any bear crosses at the moment. Yes, for a moment you actually went below and closed below the EMA, but now again you're back and you've actually closed above the EMAs. You're making 3 white soldiers. All right, pretty good so far. If you look at it, some things are done pretty nicely. But then again, when you go back into the 4-hour time frame, this is where my concern still remains. And you can see that 2 times you've tried to get above this little bit of resistance, but you failed. That's the reality. 2 times you tried to cross it, you failed, right? You got your move up, came down, support, came down, and you moved back up. I made a video 2 days ago saying that, this is one rejection, but we may see another retest because the first retest is always not enough. So you took the stop loss here, okay, for the people who are trying to short it. So is this, you say, if you still fail to actually, now let me actually tell you one thing, all right? This is becoming more better, and today's update is going to explain one thing. So if you end up coming up to 181,000, right, on BONK, I kind of think then, you know what, this, first of all, you're going to get above this resistance line, right, which is a very good thing. You get above it, you take this stop loss, and I think this threat to go to the downside just gets cancelled, and I will cancel. Now, as far as you're not going to do that, it's still there. You see, you're still there at the resistance. You're not breaking it, and as long as you're not going to break it, I remain with my own opinion that in here you may get a rejection and start to go down, unless you start to go back to 180. This is where I really want to see BONK today, by the way. Okay, we don't want to see things like go down like this and then go back up and go to 180 after 3 days. No, at least in the next 2 days, or maybe today. If you do something like that, wonderful, amazing, thumbs up. Then flip the other side around, because this is going to be a fake out. Okay, you just broke down, you went for the retest. Basically, this is a retest. As long as you're going to pass the retest, you're not meant to go down. That's the only simple way I can actually explain this thing. You see, it's just a retest. You pass the retest, you're not going to go down. You fail the retest, that's just how you go down. As far as I'm concerned, you still have not yet passed the retest. You should be passing the retest. One more thing I want to tell you is that there is a bearish divergence on the 1-hour time frame. Secondly is BONK has an ascending broadening wedge. This is also negative. Okay, this little bit here, no one's going to tell you, do subscribe to this channel, but this right here is something negative. What I'm just showing you right now, this is a very negative pattern, by the way. If I show you something like this, do you know what this is called? Do you know price action? Do you know TA? You see, when you're moving up and up and up and up and up, what is this? Yeah, it's just when you move down. What is this? Eh? That's bullish to go back up. Okay, and when you're moving up like this, extending and broadening, you're looking for a move down, isn't it? This is where your next technical target is going to remain, and that's 117,000 level. If you start to come down, pop below here, and then boom, this pattern is negative, but still the break has not yet happened. So let's see what happens in the future. Be very, very careful. And 1 hour time frame again, look at that. Prices did climb up. You have the prices shooting up, and you have the RSI coming down. Okay, so little bit of negativity on the 1 hour time frame, especially on that resistance. So trading wise, if you have profits, do get some profit out of it. And I'm going to see you with the next one in the office.